you a bit worried at 10 all at half time?
No, not really, in the sense that the conditions have been like this for the last 3 or 4 games here. It'd be quite nice to play the odd game in the sun, which was what we always say to guys about coming to Exeter, is that we're on the British Riviera. But we've got quite used to playing those conditions, and actually if you're into the wind, it's very, very hard work. But if you're in touch in and around half time, then you've got a chance, because it'd be very difficult turning around if the other way around. I mean, as we saw with them, it is really, really hard work for both sides to play into that. You know, the throwing and the kicking just goes out the window, really. It's very, very difficult.
So did you decide to play into the winter stuff?
No, it was their choice, actually. It was their choice. I mean, the flip side is we never worry about which one we're going to do. It's just you've got to make sure that you play in the right way into it. As I say, we've had a bit of practice of that recently, so it's not so much of a drama.
In terms of it, Rob, calendar year, just 1 defeat at home. You're making this place a real fortress now, and that's quite a thing. Sorry for putting the kiss.
It's not a calendar year yet, and we've got Gloucester back here, who beat us here back in January. Things like that are very, very nice to have. You know, for our supporters, we want to make sure that when they come here, they get to come and see us play well and see us winning. It's really, really important for us with those guys. Having said that, thank you for that. We're not quite there yet, but no, we've got a good record here, but we've got a good record because of what we do on the pitch and the way we're supported, and it's important that certainly from our side we keep giving the guys something to cheer about, and they keep coming along and cheering.
You've seen different qualities to the sides over recent weeks, and now whereas sides are stopping you at source at certain points, you're seeing other parts, and today Will Chudley, the halfback's really stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, Sale are a good physical side. They're obviously prepared well for this game, and you don't have to be a genius at rugby to know that we've been mauling and picking and going really, really well. So it's important then that when you get stopped there, that the guys are ready to go. And certainly I thought Will was outstanding, and Stino are outstanding again in terms of how they manage the game, because you've got to be able to go somewhere else when that gets stopped. I think it's been quite interesting over the last month, people listening to folk talking about the maul actually, and how is it too easy and all this. Of course it's not. It's pretty easy to defend if you throw numbers in. But if you do that, there should be space elsewhere. And I think some of the chat about depowering it is a bit misguided, because what we'll end up with is 14 players spread across the pitch and no space. It's one of the few ways of creating any space in the game. If you can create it, then obviously you've got to have guys like Will who can exploit that opportunity.
Second, going into the end of the year, lots of positives when you look back at 2015 as a whole. But to move into the new year, and you know straight away your old team, off of defeat, they're going to be waiting for the Chiefs.
Yeah, very much. There's not much of a let up. It's been, you know, you could look back and say 2015's been pretty cool. You know, we look at it week to week. You know, we've got a bit to work on after today. No doubt, if Saints have lost today, they'll be pretty sore for that. And going into a game at home, you know, they'll be very, very keen to put on a bit of a show for their own home support. It's important that we, you know, review this well. We have a bit of a breather. You know, it's Christmas. It'd be quite nice to get the guys away now for a day to see their families, have a bit of turkey, and then we'll get stuck into the Northampton prep.
So it's even better to be top of the table now.
Is it? Do you know what? I don't actually know what our position is. I guess the obvious answer.
At least for 24 hours.
Well, look, at the end of the day, it's the league position in May that'll be the one that counts. If we're still in the same position in May, I'll be pretty pleased.
Rob's talked a lot recently about the squad effort here as well, and we're seeing that now because the team are losing some notable guys at the moment through injury, but others are stepping up, and that's probably the difference.
Absolutely, I think we have lost some pretty good players. We've got good players coming in. You know, it's what all of the squads that you see do well. You look at Tigers over the last few years. You know, they have loads of guys missing, but they always come through. Similar with all the sides, I think you get knocks. It's part and parcel of it. You just got to get on with it, really, and it's good to see that the lads coming in who get their opportunity are going to make it hard for some of those guys coming back.
Steve Borthwick was here today. Some of your forwards didn't do themselves any harm in that respect, did they?
Yeah, I think. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what happens going into January. I think you've got to look at it more than one game. We've got some players who've been pretty outstanding over the course of the first third of the season, and I think it's important that these guys. It's consistency that counts, not just sort of one-offs, and consistently some of our forwards are putting in big performances. You know, the likes of Mitch and Don Armand, who haven't really been involved before, have been standout forwards in this league. and it's good to see those guys coming along and having a look at them. I think at the end of the day, though, they'll choose what squad they want. There's only so many changes I think they can probably make anyway, and there's some pretty good players in that squad already. I think when you start talking about changes, you start looking through that England squad, there aren't that many that you maybe think about changing. Some bloody good players in there.
It's a shame the backs coach wasn't here with Will playing that well, wasn't it? I mean, he can't be far away now.
Yeah, I think Eddie was down here, saw him play really well the other week. I don't know if they've got anybody in place yet in that sense. He'll have to play well next week then, if all the rumours are to be believed. But Steve was here, he'll pass that on, and the best will in the world. The coaches all watch hours and hours of footage anyway. We won't not see it. So let's hope that it does give him the opportunity, because certainly he's played very well this season.